Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Alex's Audio. I'm joined today by Sensei Mitch.
Hello, I'm Sensei Mitch.
And Sensei Ando.
Howdy!
So, Mitch, since you're the youngest, I'll let you introduce yourself first.
Hi, I'm Sensei Mitch. I am a martial arts teacher, and I'm also an artist. And my goals in life are to change people's lives. That's why I became an artist. That's why I became a martial artist. That's why I became a sensei, because I want to change people's lives.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Fantastic.
All right.
Sensei Ando?
Hi, Ando here, host of SenseiAndo.com and fellow podcaster, FightForAHappyLife.com. Happy to be here. Nice to see you, gentlemen.
Good to have you both here.
Nice to see you.
Thank you for
Rock
joining
on.
me on the podcast tonight.
My pleasure, thanks.
So, we're in the back room of Don Barnes Karate Kids, where 90% of my podcasts have been filmed.
Wow.
As of yet so far, and probably 90% more will be filmed here again.
Right on.
But we have a special treat tonight in that we have two very, very talented and exceptionally skilled martial artists with us. Obviously, you two.
And a pet monkey.
And a pet monkey. Danny, say hello.
Who's this guy?
Hello.
Danny's here. He is Sensei Doreen's son, and he's a good kid. And he'll...
Black belt.
Yeah.
Also changing lives.
Oh, yeah.
Helping out the little kids.
Danny, you want to say what happened to you tonight? What achievement you've gotten?
I just got prepared to test for my black belt. I just got a packet to test. And
Congratulations.
it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Attaboy. All right. Yeah, so how about that McGregor fight?
How about that McGregor fight? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't understand when you're in a fight, especially one where you can see what your opponent's strengths and weaknesses are, why people try and play to their opponent's strengths. Like the Ronda Rousey-Holly Holmes fight, Ronda Rousey came in swinging when she knows that Holly Holmes is a boxer, instead of taking her to the ground. And I feel like that's what Cowboy did with McGregor too.
Well, there's the difference between beating somebody and beating someone at their own game. That's like an extra level of satisfaction.
like
when you're super competitive, that's what you want to do. I believe Cowboy said before the fight, he said, I could try to take him down, but if I'm going to stand with one of the best strikers in the world, I want to see how I do against one of the best strikers in the world. So,
Well, we saw how that went.
yeah, well, now he knows. And I think I don't think he regrets it. I think now he knows, and that's cool. So it was neat, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's two types of people: the people who want to win and the people who just want to fight. For example, when Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather, I don't think Conor, well, maybe he did, but I don't think he truly thought, you know what, I can beat this guy. I think he just went, you know what, I wonder what it's like to fight Floyd Mayweather in boxing.
I want $65 million in the bank. Why not?
Yeah.
Danny.
Like, why was the Cowboy keeping his hands down and Conor McGregor just threw his elbows at his face and his knee? Like, keep your hands up, the Cowboy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Daniel, coming on strong. Criticizing Cowboy. Oh, my God.
What's your take on it, Sensei Ando?
I don't think he was expecting Conor to kick high. That's not something we've seen from Conor before. So as soon as he started lifting up that leg, his hands went down. He's looking for the left hook. He's looking for the low kick. He was never expecting that high kick. And again, he beat him at his own game because Cowboy threw a left head kick. Conor threw the kick. So I beat you at your own game. So Conor got what he wanted. And Cowboy was shocked that I think that that was coming out of him. The dirty boxing that came before that. I think I heard him say after the fight, I don't know what that was. I never saw that coming, which I'm shocked that he would say that because it seems like that's a really simple, dirty boxing kind of thing that we've been seeing from Jens Pulver way back in the day. Lots of people have been doing that. So, yeah, very interesting, and I'm glad that Conor brought that back because it's a great technique. So, good fight all around. I thought it was fun. A lot to talk about in 40 seconds.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah. That fight was so short, but like you said, there's so much in that 40 second.
Mm-hmm.
Sensei Mitch, who was your money on before the fight started?
That's interesting because I think they're both exceptional fighters, but I had to go with Conor just because I like Conor.
Okay.
So I'm a horrible gambler. I bet based off of my heart rather than my brain.
Mm-hmm. Did you bet on that?
I did not. I don't bet on things. I don't.
So this is a big trap.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You guys walked right into it.
What illegal activity you guys into?
Well, Mitch did. You haven't walked into it yet.
I'm not
Sensei.
going. That's
You're
why I
like a
asked you
samurai.
first.
You're like a samurai. You know when a samurai walks through a door.
That's right.
Have you ever seen? I think it's Seven Samurai that happens.
That's right.
To test if there's a real samurai, someone waits just outside of view and strikes down right as the samurai walks through the door. And if he's a real samurai, he'll either duck, deflect it, or kill the guy.
There you go.
And
saying after you at a door is tactics. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
polite. It's tactics.
So
Strategy.
metaphorically, who was your money on Sensei Ando?
I thought McGregor would win, but I was rooting for Cowboy because I
Underdog.
think I don't like all the trash talking
Yeah,
from
that's-
Conor.
I
I can't
agree.
reward that punching guys in bars and all the nonsense.
Yeah, that's
I'd rather
Old
not.
man.
I'd rather not
Punched an old
support
man.
that. Yeah,
Well, not only
that's
that,
what
he
it
went on
seems
the
like.
bus too and threw a chair through the window.
He
which
scared
is-
Rose. I love Rose. I can't forgive him for that. So yeah, I was hoping Cowboy would pull that off, but alas,
Well, Khabib already gave us that,
Oh, yeah.
pretty satisfying
very satisfying.
beatdown.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I loved that
It was
fight.
such an enjoyable fight to watch.
It was. It was.
I even saw, I don't remember which round it was from, but there was a close-up video of Khabib beating down on McGregor when he's on the floor, and he goes, "I deserve this. You know I deserve this," and he's just pounding him down like, "Damn, that's a lot of hate coming out of there."
Yeah. Well,
It was a great fight.
deserved.
Are there any fighters that you admire in the UFC?
All of them. I mean, anybody who gets up there and
That's-
does that, God bless them. I think
That's
it's
a fair
amazing.
point. Yeah.
And if you're smart, you can learn from everybody that you watch. So I'm
I
happy
agree
for all
with
the
that.
free lessons that I get to see on TV. It's
Well,
fantastic.
free. You don't pay for view?
I do. I can afford it, so I call it free.
Okay, fair enough.
And but then it's cheaper than going to classes all the
That's
time.
true.
So, great.
That's
That's
true.
a lot of lessons you can get from 40 seconds. I would, that's still whatever we paid for that. That was good. Some things to think about. Some ways to go back and change your training. So I feel like I got my money's worth.
Sponsored by the MMA organization. I go to Streamly.
Personally, I like the guys. I like the guys who think outside the box, like
Yeah.
Dominic Cruz. The guys who come in and do moves that we haven't seen before, have a different style. MMA's kind of become homogenized by a lot of people. Like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this. So I'm always back from the first UFC. I like seeing people come in with a completely different look,
Yeah.
or really thinking outside the box. I like it. So Tony Ferguson coming in with a couple little
Oh,
odd
man.
things once in a while.
Some Wing Chun.
Yeah,
A
I mean,
little bit of arm trapping.
yeah, I love
Crazy
that. That makes
stuff.
it more fun to me. Because elite athletes fighting elite athletes with the same moves, that's interesting, it's exciting, but the artistry of saying, here's something
Yeah.
only I do, or I'd like to reintroduce, here's a surprise factor to it, man, that's the real fun stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, it's called mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
So I believe that there has to be an artistry to it.
Yes, agreed.
So I have a question though. If
Yeah.
you took a world-class boxer like Mayweather and threw him in the octagon and put him up against McGregor in a fair fight, do you think he would still win that battle as a world-class striker in southpaw?
Would Floyd win under MMA rules with Conor in a cage?
Yes.
Of course not. What are you, nuts?
Even with all that power and those
Power? He's not known for power.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
he's
fair enough.
got the reach.
All right, I'll shut my mouth
and
now.
the cheap.
So Tony Ferguson, he's great.
He's known for slipping and countering and basically shelling up, but once you're allowed to tackle somebody and kick him on the legs,
And take him to the ground.
yeah, he's got
I
no, he
guess
can't
so.
just, yeah, he's going to be.
I was just trying to test the waters of whether or not boxing is as, proficient as mixed martial arts, but obviously not, so never mind.
Well, I'm not proficient. I just, you suggested that particular matchup, and
Okay.
in that particular matchup,
That's
I don't
fair.
think that would go Floyd's way. I don't think, right? Because Conor did a pretty good job under just the confines
Yeah.
of boxing rules. He didn't do
Yeah.
badly. He didn't do that bad. He almost caught him with that one little uppercut there early on, and eventually got tired, and that was good. But in under MMA rules, oh yeah, how many times in that boxing match did Conor kind of break the rules and swing around and get behind him and kind of wrap him on the back of the head?
Yeah, that's true.
Technically, you're not allowed to hit the back of the head in MMA either, but just getting that position to pick him up and suplex him or take him down, that would be the end of it. So,
Yeah, even getting him in the grapple or the clinch, I don't think he would know how to handle that.
for sure. Plus, there's smaller gloves, so Floyd's Philly shell a little less effective because he doesn't have as much of a glove to hide behind.
Right.
So there's all kinds of factors that I think they're stacked up against Floyd. So
Yeah.
I apologize for for bringing that up.
no.
But I do think that there is a bit of a beauty in boxing because I was thinking about this the other day. The simplicity of it, the fact that you can take something so basic like you're only allowed to punch and you're only allowed to do these certain punches, and you get fighters who are exceptional because they've mastered these simple moves, and someone like Muhammad Ali who thinks outside the box and creates his own style with just these simple moves. I think there's a beauty behind that you can take something so simple and make it that great and be that skilled at it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What are we thinking about Ferguson versus Khabib.
You see, I think it could go either way, but
That's why I'm paying.
Yeah, exactly.
pay to see that.
Exactly. But I think I want Tony Ferguson to win, just because of, like we talked about, the artistry that he has, and he brings his own style to it. I mean, I like both fighters. I could see it going either way.
Yeah,
completely
it'll be
agree.
fun. It'll be fun. And I think if you have them fight 10 times in a row, it'll split up pretty evenly. So
Yeah.
I think that'd be
both awesome.
I would pay to watch that, actually.
Yeah.
Well,
10 times in a row.
Oh, yeah. Knockout after knockout after knockout. Choke out, arm bar, try choke, whatever you want. Leg bar.
How about Rory McDonald? Do you guys know who that is?
Yeah, I haven't followed him since he left the first organization there, but how's he doing?
He's good. He was an interesting fighter. I really liked him, not just because he was a Canadian fighter, but
That's right.
he had, in my opinion, the best endurance I've seen from any fighter in the UFC. I mean, he had some fights where he took a massive beating
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
just kept getting up. His whole face was cut and bloodied, and he just kept getting up and fighting. And even his opponent was going, "Stay down. You're going to get hurt." And
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He's a tough kid. No doubt. He's up at TriStar. Does he train up there in Toronto with Faraz?
Yeah,
Up there?
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah, he trains up in
I
Toronto.
think I've seen some video of him up there. Yeah, tough guy, and he broke so early with so many. He was like one of the first, I think, generation of a real guy who was trained in as MMA, like as the hybrid art, not coming from this specialty or that specialty, but like an all-rounder, like I can do it all. That first breed of like the new generation of MMA fighters. So
Yeah.
and unfortunately, there's a lot of other ones now. So he couldn't hang on forever, but he's doing great. I'm glad he's still competing. So good for him.
What do you think is one of the biggest mistakes people make in self-defense?
Not in the cage, you mean? Like
Yeah,
out in the
no,
street?
just in defending themselves in general, yeah.
Daniel's got his hand up. What do you think?
Danny.
Not keeping their hands up, not fighting back. Like, they know how to fight back. It's just do it.
Boom!
Yeah,
Nail it on the
bingo.
head.
That's it. Yeah,
Keep your hands up.
And you said
Fight
before.
not pulling the trigger.
And you said before, try dodging the attack instead of getting hit.
Better to avoid than check and all that. Yeah. But what you said second there, Daniel, I think is perfect. Good people are afraid to fight back because they think they're going to get in trouble, or that somehow makes them not morally nice person anymore, or they just don't go through this exercises mentally to say, wait a minute, why am I fighting? And once they align themselves with protection, not destruction, then they get it. But in the moment, if they haven't trained that response, they just think, oh no, I don't want to fight. Violence is bad. This is horrible. And they forget, no, you're protecting your family. You're protecting good people. You're protecting your kid. You're protecting your inner child. You're protecting peace. The spirit of Bushido should be to stop war, not just continue war or start war. So someone's starting a fight, someone's starting trouble, you're there to stop that. And if it takes a little violence to put that down, that's just a tool you use to do it. So
Hell yeah.
Daniel nailed it.
Yeah.
Boom, Daniel.
I agree. There's a great quote, I don't remember who said it, but it's that the greatest fighter is the one who avoids fights, not the one who's been in the most fights. Because nowadays, it's manly and macho to say, oh, I beat this guy, I beat that guy. But this person was trying to say, it doesn't matter how many fights you've been in, the best fighter knows to avoid a fight. That's why we teach using your words first, saying, hey, that's not cool, don't do that. Rather than just going in and punching. If you can diffuse a fight, in my opinion, that's 10 times better. That's the real win. That's how you really win a fight. If you're in a fight already, you're not winning.
Fighting is the final option.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can't talk it down, can't run away, gotta protect your family, you fight.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then fight hard!
Yeah.
And win!
Well, I think a lot of people also give up too. Where it's like,
Yeah.
even if you know you're in a situation where I probably won't get out of this, you still have to give every single thing you have. Everything. Even if you're just flailing your arms, that's better than just sitting there limp and giving up. I think that's what a lot of people do as well, is they give up or they get into a state of shock and they panic rather than just, okay, I'm not trained, but as long as I do anything, even just flailing my arms, even just kicking out, that's way better than just freezing and stopping and panicking.
Hey, that's how I fight.
Just start and don't stop.
Yes.
Because when you start, you can't stop.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You better
Especially when
stop
you
at
have
some point. You'll go to jail.
It's just stop when somebody says they're going to call the police.
Okay. On you.
On you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you run.
You don't
That's
just
funny.
stop. You get the heck out of there.
No.
Oh man.
Good advice, Daniel.
Yeah, very good. Very wise. For what?
Yeah.
What are you? 11?
Yes.
Wow.
Well done.
When you turn
Yeah.
12.
December 13th.
Okay.
Well
we're
done.
Miles away.
Yeah, you were taught well. What about the biggest mistakes in like cage fighting, like MMA or
Mistakes?
Well, biggest either misconceptions or just things that people do that maybe
You know,
aren't a good idea.
of course, who am I? I'm not in there. But as a spectator, in
Right.
my opinion, it's always frustrating when you're watching people stall.
Yeah.
Because for me, as coming from a more self-defense point of view, it's always like we just said, if you're going to fight, just go. Die on your shield, just go.
Yeah.
And so many times you see, well, they're just getting each other's rhythm. They're just kind of pecking at each other. And even like big title matches, you see some people and they just stall. They don't want to commit. They're throwing one thing at a time, one punch. And they're still measuring it, the round 3, round 4. And they're trying to win by some slight edge in points. And as a spectator and as a martial artist, I just don't think that's the spirit of it. I always wished that the UFC went back to one round and it was basically 1 minute. You get 1 minute.
wow, yeah.
Just, that's it.
That's
and
entertaining.
you have to win by, you can't win
You
just
have
by
to win by
advantage.
knockout.
It's either got to be a knockout or you both, you get no money and that's it.
Yeah.
It's super extreme rules.
That would be awesome.
But then I want to see your best move right now, and as if your life depended on it, what would be the thing that you go to, not jabbing at people and
Not
staying
more
away.
attrition.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah.
None of that. I mean, that's a different sport. I get that. Different thought about sports. But I don't like when people strategize that way to win a fight.
It depends
I
on
would
the
rather see
fighter,
the
though. A lot of fighters go, pardon me, Danny, balls to the wall,
Yeah.
like, as soon as they get in there. Like,
Good. Those are the people I like.
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, Tony Ferguson, whenever I see someone try to take down Tony Ferguson or sweep his leg or something, he will do a flip with one foot, like, mid-air, and redirects, like, I've never seen someone sprawl and, what do you call it, scramble, like he does. It's insane.
No, he's-
He doesn't move like a human being. He moves like an animal.
That's what I liked about early Anderson Silva. Is he was one of those guys who would just go right in. Towards the end, he got a little bit of like just waiting, and I think that's one of the main reasons why his injury happened. But when he was first starting out, the reason why he was the best is because he was that guy that just went all in and didn't stop. I think that's another reason why people stop is because in round 3, you get tired and you just stand there.
Yeah. But they know that. They're professionals, so they know how much gas is in their tank. So, especially when you know you're losing the fight, why you don't just go, and just run at the guy and just throw it to
Super
the
Saiyan.
wind and just go for it. I would like to
Yeah.
see that more.
Yes, Danny.
Danny.
Like sometimes people try to back up, but like that's not gonna work. You just might as well back up into the cage and just might get thrown
That's true.
down to the ground. Just keep your feet and go forward instead of backward.
That's true.
Or make your angles.
No
side to
tactical
side.
retreats allowed.
Well, I mean, we just saw in that same night with Conor, we saw Holly Holm fight.
Yeah.
And she's such a pro Hall of Famer. I mean, she's got the boxing, the kickboxing, now the mixed martial arts, former champ. But you see her like backing up a lot. Straight back. At least that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
These aren't, and I just kept thinking like, well, how can that be? With all of her experience and everything she knows, why is she not angling off? Why is she not throwing more combinations in there? Why is she going backwards? It really seemed like what you just said. So that to me would be I don't see it that often, so it really caught my eye. Like, why is Holly Holm going backwards? It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So
She usually goes forward instead of
yeah,
backwards.
she's tough as nails. And,
Absolutely.
she's got the skills to keep going forward. But I don't know, she's trying something different, and she got new ideas going. That's cool. She still won the fight. God bless her. So, but it was not. I was like, what?
Yeah, she's an unbelievable fighter.
Sure.
Yeah.
of
It's
course.
just like if you're in a fight, never back away. Like walk backwards because, like, let's say if there's a wall behind you,
Yes.
you can just run into that and they can just beat you up until you cry and cry and cry.
Oh my gosh. Has that happened to you, Daniel? Let's
No.
bring it up.
No.
Let's go deep.
When I was at like my old school, I just saw like a person beating up a person. And I tried helping, but like I saw them crying.
Oh.
It was
So
my-
you helped the bully instead?
Yeah.
No, I helped my
Oh man, I feel
friends.
bad.
Stick with the winner.
Shut up.
I helped my friend.
Oh, you helped. Oh, he was your friend who was getting beat up.
Sort of.
Oh.
What are you friends with a bully
Sort
for?
of.
Danny?
No, I'm not friends with the bully. My friend was sort of the guy getting beat up.
Oh, dear.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
but the kid like was saying, "Is this how you make friends?" I was like,
While he was
"No."
getting beat up, he said that?
Oh boy.
No, like he asked, "Is this how you make friends?" At the end.
That's terrible trash talk.
Yeah.
That's just terrible.
No, that's what he said. Like,
Yeah.
Like, he said he had no friends and he thought that's how you make friends. Like, that's not how you make friends.
Did you go over and tell him, hey, you should take karate?
I tried to.
That's how you make friends.
I'm sure he was too busy crying.
Yeah. You give him a Kleenex and tell him, come to karate with me.
Yeah.
Let's be friends.
How old was he?
Like, I was in 2nd grade, so he might have been like 7 or 6 or
okay.
8.
Yeah, that's not how you make friends.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a big thing with bullying is that people are afraid to get in trouble. So those kids don't fight back. They get bullied and they go, well, wait a second. If I fight back and protect myself, I'm going to get trouble from my parents, my teachers. So one of the biggest things is you have to know the line of, and I think some adults are like that too, where it's, I don't want to get in trouble with the law. You have to know the line of, okay, when is it too much? When am I going to get in trouble? And when am I protecting myself?
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest issues with bullying, and I think that's why it still exists to a degree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like they think they're, like if they beat you up, they think they're better than you, but like you're not. The only way to be better than someone is not being better than them. Because you can't be better.
You just blew my mind. Say
You
that.
can't be better than someone because almost everybody's the same in their own way. Like being weird, smart, talented.
You mean
gifted.
different in their own way?
Yeah, like different.
Good, Daniel.
Because like if you think that you're better than them, that they, you're not.
Then you're just a fool.
Yeah, I see what
you're
you're
just a
saying.
fool.
We all have our own
Because-
little quirks, our own little flaws.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like everybody has a flaw and everybody has something that they're good at. Like everybody has that. And nobody can say that I'm flawless. No, you're not. And nobody can say that they're perfect. No.
I can say it.
Doesn't mean it's true.
It doesn't mean it's true. Yeah.
When are you going to start your podcast, Daniel? Holy smokes, you're full of wisdom over here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I asked if I can join this weekend if we had time.
Oh, fantastic. What's
Hey,
this
you're
weekend?
already in a podcast, man. You're doing it.
Okay.
This is a good co-host situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Danny's a new member of the show. It's going to be Alex and Danny Audio.
I like it. I like it.
So my high school and elementary school that I both went to had a zero tolerance fighting policy, which basically means if you got a scuffle at lunch or if you were getting bullied and you fought back, you got expelled. I personally have my own views about that, but I'm just curious as a, what a couple of martial artists like you would, how you would approach either redesigning the rule or creating something in its place. Sensei Ando, what do you think?
I always tell people there's school law, then there's family law, and there's natural law. And natural law is on top. So no one has a right to hurt you, period. I don't care where I am or who you're talking to. It's I'm going to fight back. And as long as you're okay with your family, that would be the next level down. It's nice when mom and dad can agree on what's going on in the family, so you don't want mom saying one thing, dad saying something else, and then the school saying something else. It's nice when all grown-ups, if they're working with kids, can have the same message. But ultimately, the message to any individual, young or old, is, hey man, I don't care what anybody says. Someone's touching you and you're going to get hurt, you fight back, and whatever happens after that, just live with it.
Agreed.
That's natural law. No one's got a right to tell me not to fight back.
Everybody can learn something new. Teachers, kids, adults, everybody.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't mean, like, when you finish school, it doesn't mean you're done with life.
Correct.
You can learn something new, like karate, jiu-jitsu, martial arts, any of that. Wrestling. Like,
Yes.
Something new. Like, you can learn it. There's still more to learn in life.
Always.
You can always grow. You can always get better. You just got to keep working.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways.
My opinion on that is, in theory, zero tolerance in fighting sounds great. If somebody fights, even if a bully fights you, they get expelled. Well, that sounds great. But the problem is, we're human. So in practice, it doesn't work out that way. People play favorites. They say, okay, well, it wasn't technically hitting him because we were just horseplay. So you get all these exceptions and these gray areas to the rules that it works on paper, but in practice, it just doesn't work at all. And in that instance, it's, again, I totally agree, natural law, family law. When I was growing up, my parents always said, if I hear you got in trouble protecting yourself, I will never be mad at you.
Nice.
If I hear you got in trouble attacking somebody, you're grounded.
Right.
So if somebody's bullying you and you're afraid that you're going to get in trouble with the school, talk it over with your family. I would say, okay, What am I allowed to do? And if your family is also anti-violence, then you need to figure it out with yourself. Do I want to get hurt? Well, no, nobody wants to get hurt. I think the biggest thing is protection and being safe. And if that means you need to fight back, then I believe that should be what you need to do. But the key word there is fight back.
Right.
You shouldn't
Not
just
initiate.
pick a fight
Yeah.
and don't go too far. If you get the guy to the ground and he's stopping, don't hop back on him and start hitting him.
Yeah.
Walk away. And that's another thing is that's hard to do, especially when you're feeling angry or sad and why did you hit me? It's easy to just lose control. Yes, Dan.
I agree with you because like when I was in kindergarten, I was trying to defend my friend from these like 4th or 5th graders, and it was in the bathroom, and like I got in trouble. And guess where they found the boy?
In the stall?
No, I'll give you 3 hints.
3.
Wait, no, 2.
How hard is this?
In a locker.
Yeah.
In a locker, or hiding behind a trash can.
Hiding behind the trash can.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's-
you're right.
In a locker.
Yes. I don't know how I figured that out.
My parents were pretending to be mad, but they were actually happy for defending me and my friend.
Good.
Here, here.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely.
It's hard to find that line of, well, I don't want to get in trouble, but I also need to defend myself. And I think the biggest thing is if you can just take that breath, not panic, not worry about any of that, and just protect yourself, that's when you'll start to find, okay, now I'm receiving a little bit more respect from these people because they know, I mean, 9 times out of 10 when people get bullied, it's because they're a target.
Yeah.
They're an easy target for the bully.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. There's still times when bullies go after somebody who's not an easy target.
Yeah.
But
If
if
the
you...
bullies learn a hard lesson.
Because like they're not the brightest of people.
Almost
because,
never.
Because they like picking on nerds sometimes, like people that are very smart. That's what I meant to say. And like
okay,
because
Danny. No
they
one's gonna
think
get
they're
offended.
weak, but sometimes they can be smart. Like me, I am smart, but I know how to protect myself.
Nice.
Double-edged sword right there.
Nice.
Not bad.
So you can outwit them with your words, insult them, trash talk them, and then beat them with your fists.
Kind sir,
Yes, I can do that.
either have at thee or leave my kingdom.
Nice.
You
Yeah,
ever
but
go medieval on him, Danny?
like if I'm in a fight, I would.
Easy,
But
easy.
like nobody would pick on me because I'm still in elementary school and my class is the highest grade there. So it's hard to pick on me now and my friends.
But it's easy for you to pick on other people.
Yes, but I wouldn't do that.
Okay. Well, it depends what they're having for lunch. Maybe you want their lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Are you
No.
getting
Their
hungry?
lunch
No.
money.
What if
They
like
have
a Pop
pizza.
Tart?
You don't. Yeah. What if they have a Pop-Tart?
We had that for breakfast
Oh,
at
what?
school.
What? That's your school lunch? A Pop-Tart?
Better than what I
it's,
got.
it was breakfast last Monday.
At your school?
Yes,
So is the school's lunch program giving you a Pop-Tart?
yes. For
Wow. What
Just
if they had
one or
pizza?
two?
like every Pop-Tart packet comes with 2 Pop-Tarts.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking. But, like,
fancy
if
school.
they only handed you one Pop-Tart, it would have to be toasted, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you eat them raw or
Oh,
they toasted?
toasted?
Toast.
Wow, that's a high-end school right
Yeah,
there.
what kind of fancy school are
And
you
they-
going to?
And they serve us pizza.
Pizza
What?
and Pop-Tarts?
Oh.
I want to go to your
Yes.
school.
Hey.
I am...
And they serve us cheeseburgers and burgers and teriyaki and rice. Teriyaki chicken, I mean.
oh my
What
God.
happened to Michelle Obama's keep kids healthy? I had a great conversation with my girlfriend the other day. She was like, I love Obama and what he stood for and everything, but I've always hated Michelle Obama. And I'm like,
Wow.
why? She's such a sweet, nice lady. Like, how could you do that? And she's
She
like,
tried
I-
making school food better because like some of it sucked.
well, she
Well,
goes.
apparently not in your school.
First one to swear on
No,
your
that
podcast.
was like a couple of years ago. It sucked bad.
I thought we would be the ones swearing on the podcast. Turns out Daniel's got the pod now.
I didn't even hear that.
Well, anyhow, my girlfriend, I'm like, why do you hate Michelle Obama? She's like, I remember the day when Michelle Obama's food policy was enacted at my school.
Ah,
And our lunches went from great to terrible.
is that right? Is that right?
Yeah,
Like
like
funny.
it was supposed to be eco-friendly and health-based, but apparently all she really got were a lot more raw vegetables and a lot less tasty food.
Really?
And a lot more plastic packaging. And she's very, very hell-bent on, being environmentally friendly, reduce, reuse, recycle, yada, yada, yada. And apparently, like, they were wasting tons and tons and tons of plastic every day. This is hearsay. So I did not experience this. This is only, ask Rachel about this. But I don't know.
Give me your number.
Hey, Sensei, aren't you married?
Can I continue with my school food?
No.
Oh,
Okay. You're gonna read the whole menu.
Because they got some good stuff. Because they got provolone cheese sandwiches.
Ah, yes,
with
Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That's delicious.
Yeah,
Wait, provolone cheese sandwich on Martin Luther King Day?
No, we weren't there. But I'm reading off the schedule. Like, we had fresh garden salad. We can choose if we want the chicken or the garden salad. Like, they gave us.
Do you have
Chickens are grown in gardens?
No.
Do you have a lunch lady that comes by with pepper and says, "Say when"?
Oh yeah. Do you have a?
No.
Do you have a cheese grater lady who just comes by and says,
No.
Would you like some balsamic
It
vinegar?
comes with it. And have you guys heard of coffee cake?
Yes, of course.
Coffee?
Yes.
What is this magical substance?
You don't have coffee at your school, do you?
No, but we got coffee cake. It's amazing. And we got some
little
French-
raspberry crumble
we
on
got
top.
we got cinnamon pancakes. We got some French toast. We got gourmet waffles.
I've never seen you so happy.
Can you bring us to your school one of these times?
Do you need like a?
Do not
kitchen
say
hand
the
or
name of the school,
need-
please.
Yeah.
Cafeteria chaperone.
Bodyguard.
You guys want a morning beef sausage sandwich?
Amen, I do.
I'll take anything you got there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come to my house tomorrow and I'll give it to you.
Okay, moving on.
Well, going back to what you were saying about being environmentally friendly, I'm all for that, but paper does not belong in my drink. Paper straws are ridiculous.
I completely
Yes.
disagree.
Paper-
Completely disagree.
What?
Have you seen the video of the turtle?
Okay.
Come on!
I'm all for
Come
no plastic.
on.
What
I'm
about
all for
metal
no
straws?
plastic.
Metal
straws, yeah.
I got a
Because,
bamboo
like-
straw
That's
that
great.
I take with me, but I will
That's-
say,
Like metal or
What kind of
bamboo?
weirdos use straws in to begin with? Why don't you
Like-
just drink it?
Yeah, like
Well, when you go out, they give you it with a lid.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Open the lid.
yeah.
What I prefer though, do you
Drink
see
it
Starbucks' new
old-fashioned.
cup?
That's gonna be a waste of the lid and the straw.
No, like
They gave me the
have
lid.
it.
That's true.
You
Like,
don't
the
understand
habit-
us
I'm
young
not
kids,
strong.
The
Sensei.
habit has decided to make two things: a sippy cup and
Yes.
a straw holder. I always use a sippy cup so I can save the environment by using less plastic.
What a guy.
And like paper would still hurt the trees because it's made out of trees, and we need trees to survive because that
But we
equals
grow the trees to
oxygen.
make the straws. Don't we have more trees right now than we've ever had in the history of the world?
Well, we have
Nope.
20
No, we
million trees
Sure about that?
planted in
that up.
South Carolina.
Well, I mean,
Well, think about how many
considering
trees were in
all
the
the fires in the Amazon and in.
Not just that,
But
the
we have
whole
20
Devonian
but we have
era
20
during that Devonian
million.
extinction was
Oh,
just
yeah.
all trees on land.
Oh yeah, if we're talking like ancient.
Well, he said the history of the world.
Yeah, I'm
So-
sorry, Sensei.
I'm being pedantic about it.
Yeah. He's being a stickler, but he's actually right. Like in the era of the dinosaurs and before then, when
We weren't there, so there's no point comparing it to that.
That's true, but we do have fossil records.
We have the oil from those.
That too.
Beautiful. That beautiful era.
What
Thank
a
you.
lovely.
Somebody planted 20 million trees in South Carolina, so that's sort of helping the environment.
We get Christmas trees every year. We grow new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whole
like-
farms dedicated
Like
to growing
when you
trees.
take
Yeah.
when you take down a tree, plant a new one. That helps the environment.
Not just one, two.
Okay, so
Lorax.
every tree you
Hey.
take down, plant two. Or maybe
Everybody
three or
Tell me
five.
what to do.
Sneeze.
Make sure it's above one.
Okay.
Do you just carry tree seeds in your pocket?
No.
Just
in
apple
case you,
seed.
just
No.
in case you chop down a tree.
No, but there's actually a lot of trees in my school. Like we have a garden
Okay. All
and
right.
a
All
tree.
right. All right. With the enough with the trees. Let's bring it back. So.
Team trees.
Oh yeah. Team trees. Okay. So Ando and Mitch, what is your? I'll give you each time to answer.
Yeah.
What is your philosophy when it comes to teaching kids? What are the main lessons you try to impart upon these kids when you're
Be like me.
get out of my spotlight? I heard you earlier throwing Danny to the
You tell
wolves.
You tell us to be great. Like when you see somebody not bending their knees, you tell them to bend your knees because it helps their knees kick and like
There you
do a
go.
horse stance.
There you go. So, yeah, so the philosophy would be
Or
Like what Daniel said before, everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses. So if you can look at your flaw and challenge it to see if it's a permanent flaw, if it's something you can improve upon, great. And if you have a strength, then absolutely double down on that and multiply it as much as you can to get the most out of your life. Because if you're dishonest with yourself about your strengths or your weaknesses, you'll never get as far as you can. So it's always about trying to maximize your potential. And you're right about that. Yep.
Awesome. I remember
Sensei Mitch, do you disagree? Children be their best.
I completely they should be their worst. How dare they? No,
like the worms they are.
I agree, and most of the philosophy I've learned has been from this wise man over here, Sensei Ando.
Oh, Sensei Don, we're all here in the part of the culture. Yep.
But one thing I will say is,
just wait till we get her on the podcast.
Oh, right. Yeah.
One thing I will say is I agree with Thanos in the sense that a great way.
Never start your point with "I agree with that."
So you're pro tree, but let's wipe out half of all people.
What I mean by that is,
what does the Purple Man get?
Balance. What I mean by that is balance.
The Purple Man killed people.
So I think if you say, "Hey, great job, too much," then that child is going to think, "Oh, I'm the best at karate," and like we were just talking about this. Then when you correct them or they figure out they've done something wrong, they've had it in their head that, "Oh my goodness, I can't be bad." Yeah. But if you correct a child too much, then they're going to think, "I'm the worst. I don't know what to do. Why am I even here?" So it's that balance of praise and correction. So whenever I do a belt test and at the end when they're meditating, I always like to tell the kids, okay, think about one thing that you made better today, one good thing you did. And now think about one thing that you need to work on. Because I think that balance is very important, not just for kids though, but also for adults or anybody. Find that one thing. I did that good today. What can I work on? Maybe I can work on this more.
Yep.
So I think, just like Thanos, that balance is
beautiful.
Strangely enough, I agree with you, but I wouldn't say like Thanos.
Don't say Thanos.
Okay, Danny, what was your hand up for?
Like if you do something bad, like for a long time, it's just gonna become a habit. If you keep on doing that habit, it's gonna keep bad forever. Yeah. And if somebody doesn't correct you, it's just gonna be bad and bad. Like let's say if karate, you're not bending your knees and you're still a brown belt. Oh my God, that's a bad habit. Like you're gonna be so used to it, you don't want to get rid of that bad habit. Mm-hmm. So just try creating good habits when you find a small bad habit, because like when it's small in the beginning, it just becomes a big bad habit.
Catch it early. Good advice. Yes, catch it early.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And being aware of those habits is very important too, because sometimes people don't even realize that they're doing something wrong. Like if you're bending your knee in a bad way, and you're young, so you don't know that it's
twisting your foot. Like if you walk twisting like your foot like in the wrong direction, you can like twist it, and that's really bad for your foot and yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's good to be aware of these things as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well said.
Very cool.
Did this just get quiet for a moment?
It did. It was. We've reached a lull.
It's the staring into each other's eyes that's
awkward. Yes.
Oh my God!
Let's get this party started.
Do you think that that martial arts is a very important thing for every child to learn?
Of course.
Why?
Every person, everybody. Because this is a format where you can see the real you, because that comes out under pressure, and that will give you the most honest feedback of what needs to be corrected and what needs to be built upon. Nothing I think is more honest than fighting. Mm-hmm. Yes. You can hide behind all kinds of, I'm great at this, I'm terrible at that. In a dance class, in an art class, in a music class, people can lie to you. Here, you get punched in the face, you got punched in the face. You get knocked down, you got knocked down. You got pinned, you got pinned. You got choked, you got choked.
If you got
it's
black
the
eye,
most
you get
honest
black
thing
eye.
I've ever seen. Dating, love, a kiss can be a lie. A punch is never a lie. That's how I feel about it.
I'm going to quote that. A kiss can be a lie. A punch is never.
I've quoted that already.
And
that's on my podcast.
Darn.
Yeah.
All right.
No, everything. A punch is honest.
Yes, Danny.
If you're in like a fight and you get a black eye, just keep on fighting and don't cry in a corner.
Yeah, we've covered this.
Yeah.
Because that's bad.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's, I completely agree that when you're in a fight, and you could also be the most trained and skilled fighter and still get punched in the face. And I think the beauty of that is you learn, oh wait, as much as I've trained, I still have so much to go. There's still extenuating circumstances where no matter how hard you train, nothing will ever prepare you for a fight. So it's all about your wits and just being ready and not panicking and thinking outside the box. I mean, it all comes full circle back to that, because at the end of the day, the only person who can protect you is you.
Yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so if you know yourself to the max, then you're going to know how to protect yourself to the max.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who are the? It doesn't have to be limited to this, but who are the fighters you guys admire? It doesn't have to be fighters. It can be role models. It can be philosophers. Whoever.
Albert Einstein and Conor McGregor.
Wow.
That's quite a combination.
Wow.
I've always admired Jackie Chan because I think his you're giving me a look there.
No, I'm just thinking about it. Yeah, processing.
I've always admired Jackie Chan because I really like when you watch his movies. His fighting style is different from a lot of other fighting movies that I've seen, where some of them are like, yeah, bring it on, I'm gonna get the bad guy. Whereas Jackie Chan's is he plays a regular guy who's in a bad situation, who's in a bad place at a bad time. And to me, he uses his environment before he uses his fist. So the first thing he'll do is say, I don't want to fight, I don't want to hurt you. Then if there's a basket, he'll pick up a basket and use those things as a shield of like, I don't want to get hurt. And if that doesn't work, then he gets into the fight. And whenever he has an opportunity to run away, he runs away. I mean, most of his fight scenes in the movies is him trying to get away from the bad guy.
Yep.
Whereas in most action movies, it's them going to the bad guy to hunt down the bad guy. And I really like that Jackie Chan was one of the only people that I've seen whose philosophy was, no, I'm fighting to get away, to run away.
Flip the script.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very interesting.
Very cool.
Jay?
He's like so powerful that like when he does his own stunts, like he says he can still do the movie. Like one time when he was doing a stunt, he got so injured. He got so like hurt. It was so bad, but he kept on doing the movie.
Not just one time.
Many
times.
Many
That's
times.
his shtick.
Like he sprained a couple of bones and broke.
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of Tom Cruise jumping for that
yeah.
Mission Impossible movie and breaking his ankle.
Oh, man. But he kept going.
And not only that, they used that shot in the movie.
Yeah.
That's the best part for me. Cause
Well, that could have been the first shot.
Yeah, honestly.
How about yourself?
All of my favorite fighters are people nobody knows because you know people's real stories and what they've come through personally. You talk about celebrities and people, I don't know what their real struggles are, what was easy for them, what was hard for them. Right. I know publicity machines tell you where they've come from, but it's the people that you know in your real life, your family and your friends, who you've seen conquer, whether it's a disease or bad finances or a bad relationship or something bad. Those are all the real fighters that I think about and I'm always interacting with and that I find inspiring. Entertainment's entertainment, but real life, I'm sure you just look within your own walls of your family or your friends, you'll find people who are really inspiring. We all have those people, but they're not famous, but they're famous to you.
Who inspires you, Sensei?
I'm not telling you.
Well, you don't have. It doesn't have to be a famous person. Just
Well, yeah, but
Himself.
it's every day I find inspiration. You know, I always go with Mr. Rogers if I have to go with a publicly known person, because that guy fought his own fight. Has nothing to do with martial arts, but has everything to do with good and changing the world his way and doing it in a way that I really appreciate, which was many people mocked him for decades, but at some point it tips and people go, ha ha, we thought we were cool making fun of you in the short term, but now that we play the long game, we see you were sincere this whole time. And I haven't done anything. My life has changed and gone up and down. I think I'm cool, but you've been sitting here just doing the same thing over and over, never changed your message, never changed your mission. And at the end of the life, at the end of the game, you go, oh, I see, you won. And for him to have never altered his course and say, I'm doing this. These are the sweaters that my mother made. This is the mission. I'm trying to bring something good to television. I think this medium is being used incorrectly. And to stick to that through thick and thin and mocking and all that, to still be standing strong at the end going like, how about me now? How do you like me now, everybody? He didn't say it like
Tom
that.
Hanks is playing me now, baby.
Well, and that's the thing. You know, it's you can either. I talked to an actress once about this. Like, what's cooler, to play Mr. Rogers or to be Mr. Rogers?
Oh,
yeah.
And I think a lot of people want to play at it. You know, oh, I do good things here and there. Yeah, but be Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
You know, or be you, but your version of that. Be sincere with what you believe and carry that through the long game, not the short game. And I think you win in the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, Sensei, I think you're the closest person in my life I've ever met who is as close to Mr. Rogers.
Wow. Well, thanks kindly.
Which is
I think.
really incredible.
That's my nice sweaters that I wear.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Very stylish. Very suave.
Well, I'm working on it. He's if that's a great compliment to me. If that's true, that's great. Thank you.
Danny?
Like Nikola Tesla. Some people have doubted him.
Nikola.
But
right?
Nikola.
Nicola, yeah.
Tesla. Like, some people has doubted him, but he still kept on going. Like, he built the Tesla.
Well, careful there.
And he's trying to make...
So you mean Elon Musk?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, I mean.
Yeah. These are both cool
Yeah,
dudes.
yeah.
They are, yeah.
Like, they kept on going. Like, Elon Musk made Tesla, and he's trying to do something on Mars.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I think he's trying to make air on it.
We'll see
That'd
how
be
that
great.
goes. I think what Elon Musk is trying to do is he's trying to
Make it a home.
give. Maybe I'm not exactly sure what the purpose is, but I think the end game is to have a weight off of the Earth just in case.
Like the last Avengers.
I think it's a self-preservation mentality. It's like, well, the oceans are rising. There's more fires now than ever. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And who knows what's going to go down when AI hits the stage.
Yep.
So I think he's got that in his back pocket as an emergency escape plan.
So I'm gonna build cars.
No,
on
but like...
Mars. What you said about do you want to play Mr. Roger or be Mr. Roger? I think having that mentality can change your life. There's a story. One time I was going to get my phone fixed. I had shattered my screen because I'm not the brightest. And I went to the store and I handed them my phone and I said, how long is this going to be? And they said, about 45 minutes. And I went, all right, what am I going to do for 45 minutes? So I saw that there was I believe it was a Subway or like a Burger King or something. And so I went, all right, I'll just go across the street and get something quick to eat. I walk in and there was a guy, a homeless man standing there in a vest asking people, hey, do you have money? And I saw so many people just walk by. And I was about to walk by and then I thought, you know what? No, let me hear what this guy has to say. And he says, do you have any money? And I said, well, you're here. Why don't I just buy you a meal? And the first thing he said was, I have $2. I'll pay you back. And that inspired me. Like, this guy has no money and yet he's still willing to give me all of it because of my kindness. So I told him, no, you keep the money and I will pay for your meal. So I pay for his meal, and as I'm standing there, I see that a lot of these people giving him dirty looks as he's coming in, like, how did you even get a meal, all that stuff. And as we get the meal, I hand him his meal, he starts walking out, and I say, why don't you sit with me? And I talked to him, and he was a really, really nice man. He was talking about how he used to be a veteran in the Army, and how when he came back, he was homeless, but he wasn't going to use that as an excuse. And he got a low-paying minimum wage job as a construction worker. Today was his day off, and he said, I had never been to this town for 80 years. I lived just outside. And he said, I came in, and my belief of this town, what I used to think it was tarnished. Everybody that I've met has been to themselves and entitled. And he goes, but you gave me hope for this town. And that moment was one of the moments where I realized all it takes is one little tiny act and you can inspire
Absolutely.
so much. And it's made me want to sit down with more people who are struggling that we usually walk by and just say, do you want to talk? Because you can get, and it's also a little bit selfish for me too, because I get an inspiration from them. I mean, that guy inspired me when he was going to give me $2. That's all he had for that whole day was $2, and he was going to give it to me. And he actually gave that $2 to another homeless person, and he said something to me that also inspired me. He said, he might use that to go get cigarettes or alcohol or whatever it is, and he goes, but it's not about that for me. It's about giving out of the kindness of your heart, because if you give out of the kindness of your heart, other people are going to start doing the same thing. And he goes, I just believe in people. And I remember walking. My phone took 45 minutes, and I had spent an hour and a half with this guy, not even realizing, because he was just so inspirational. And it was one of those weird things where this guy who's been struggling, who's had a problem, was still able to see the good in people.
That's incredible.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leave it to the one Canadian in LA.
That's
Be nice. The one nice guy this guy comes across.
like, some people that are nice, like, who need, like, homeless people that are money, like, they, like, in food, they say they don't want food, but they actually need it. Like, for some reason, some of them
Depends
just
on
want,
who you're
like,
talking to, Danny.
like your person, like the homeless guy that you are meeting up with, was a very nice guy because he served our country and like he given away his $2 to somebody else that's homeless, and he was very kind.
Yeah,
Like
wow.
that's so I can't see.
You're
Inspiration.
too choked up to say it.
Yeah.
I know.
Inspiration.
It's okay, you
See
don't
the
have-
tears streaming
Yeah,
down his
yeah,
face
no,
right
no.
now.
It's hard for me to
He's a
say.
sensitive boy.
No, sometimes it's hard for me to say stuff.
Oh, welcome to the club.
But that's part of what made me want to work here was that if I can have one act of kindness towards a child here, maybe they'll grow up and see somebody at school who's struggling and go, you know what,
Yeah.
Sensei did this thing for me. I'm going to do something for them, and they're going to do something, and they're going to do something. And this is very cliche to get inspiration from a kids movie, but I watched that new Christmas movie, Klaus, and great film, by the way. He said something that has stuck with me. He said, one act of goodwill inspires another and another and another. And I've seen that happen even just here, where somebody comes in and they're having a bad day, and you're friendly to the kid, and then that kid is friendly to another kid, and that kid's friendly to another kid, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Pay it forward.
Yeah.
Like I did that at my school. Like I saw a kid feeling sad, and like I was so kind to him. Like it was so inspirational that he wanted to share it with somebody else, and then it kept on going on, and it made me feel so happy.
Beautiful.
That's great. I want to be mindful of your guys' time.
I think that's a nice place for me to step out
Yeah,
because
I think it's-
let's all be inspired to go do something small, but consistently.
Where can the people find you, Sensei?
Plant a tree or give $1 or buy a meal. Whatever. Look for fightforhappylife.com. I'm out there. You can't miss me.
SenseiAndo.com.
Ando, is it Mierzwa?
Don't even worry about that.
Follow
That's
him
why I
on
don't use
YouTube. He's an incredible guy, incredible instructor, incredible teacher,
He
incredible
gives life lessons.
grandmaster, whatever you want to
Very
call
good.
him.
Lessons on YouTube. It's amazing.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about me. Thank you for having me. It was excellent.
Thank you for being here, Sensei.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thanks again for Sensei Mitch for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me. I
Thanks
enjoyed
for having me too.
Danny too. Absolutely.
I could talk for hours. I love it. So thank you for
Same here.
Well,
letting me
we're gonna
talk
have
and
you back on it again. Don't
listen.
you worry, brother. Don't you worry. I need those views.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can we do this one this weekend? Like you, me, and my mom?
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see. Probably not this weekend because I have a
Next
quinceañera.
weekend.
Next
Maybe.
weekend, probably. But Sensei Mitch, where can the people find you?
Shameless plug. The biggest one is Instagram. It's just my name, Mitchell, 2 L's, and then my last name, KUMMEN. And then on Twitter, it's just MKUMMEN. So if you want to, there's no force to do it. Thank you.
He's gonna be Hollywood's next big star. He's been in Horns. What other things have you been in, Sensei?
We don't need to worry about that.
We don't need to worry about it, but you can check out his IMDb page by looking up his name and his last name. Thank you very much. This is Alex's audio. Danny?
You can find me at Karate Kid Santa Monica.
No, you can't. I'm going to edit that out. Say something else, Danny.
Bonjour. Goodbye.
Yeah, you don't want to tell them your exact location.
Yeah, we can't do that, buddy.
Okay,
Sorry.
edit that out.
I will. Good night, everybody.
Well,
Who you're
like-
talking to, Danny.
Like your person, like the homeless guy that you were meeting up with, was a very nice guy because he served our country and like he given away his $2 to somebody else that's homeless, and he was very kind.
Yeah,
Like
wow.
that's so I can't see.
You're
Inspiration.
too choked up to say it. I
Yeah.
know.
Inspiration.
It's okay, you
See
don't
the
have-
tears streaming
Yeah,
down his
yeah,
face
no,
right
no.
now.
It's hard for me to
He's a
say.
sensitive boy.
No, sometimes it's hard for me to say stuff.
Oh, welcome to the club.
But that's part of what made me want to work here was that if I can have one act of kindness towards a child here, maybe they'll grow up and see somebody at school who's struggling and go, you know what, Sensei did this thing for me. I'm going to do something for them, and they're going to do something, and they're going to do something. And this is very cliche to get inspiration from a kids movie, but I watched that new Christmas movie, Klaus, and great film, by the way. He said something that has stuck with me. He said, one act of goodwill inspires another and another and another. And I've seen that happen even just here, where somebody comes in and they're having a bad day, and you're friendly to the kid, and then that kid is friendly to another kid, and that kid's friendly to another kid, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Pay it forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I did that at my school. Like I saw a kid feeling sad, and like I was so kind to him. Like it was so inspirational that he wanted to share it with somebody else, and then it kept on going on, and it made me feel so happy.
Beautiful.
That's great. I want to be mindful of your guys' time.
I think that's a nice place for me to step out because
I think it's
let's all be inspired to go do something small, but consistently.
Where can the people find you, Sensei?
Plant a tree or give $1 or buy a meal. Whatever. Look for fightforhappylife.com. I'm out there. You can't miss me.
SenseiAndo.com.
Is it Mierzwa?
Don't even worry about that.
Follow
That's
him
why I
on
don't use
YouTube. He's an incredible guy, incredible instructor, incredible teacher, incredible grandmaster, whatever you want to call him.
Lessons on YouTube. It's amazing.
Don't worry about me. Thank you for having me. It was excellent.
Thank you for being here, Sensei.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again for Sensei Mitch for being here.
Hey, thank you for having me. I
Thanks
enjoy
for
it.
having me too.
Danny too. Absolutely.
I could talk for hours. I love it. So thank you for
Same here.
Well,
letting me
we're gonna
talk
have
and
you back on it again.
listen.
Don't you worry, brother. Don't you worry. I need those views.
Yeah.
But Sensei Mitch, where can the people find you?
Shameless plug. The biggest one is Instagram. It's just my name, Mitchell, 2 L's, and then my last name, KUMMEN. And then on Twitter, it's just MKUMMEN. So if you want to, there's no force to do it. Thank you.
He's gonna be Hollywood's next big star. He's been in Horns. What other things have you been in, Sensei?
We don't need to worry about that.
We don't need to worry about it, but you can check out his IMDb page by looking up his name and his last name. Thank you very much. This is Alex's Audio. Danny?
Bonjour. Goodbye.
Good night, everybody.